Entering Kenmore. Doors will open on the left.
How is it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 43 of Entering Kenmore. I am David Azer alongside Zach Coe. Zach, I really wish we had more positive news to discuss on today's episode. It's been about 2 weeks, I think, since we last talked, and I wish the Red Sox did nothing. Unfortunately, they have not. We have one trade and one signing to break down, and both of them do nothing for me. But we can start with the Jordan Hicks trade, of all things, and that is that Jordan Hicks, David Sandlin, and $8 million were sent to the Chicago White Sox.
Forget the two players to be named later.
Oh, and the two players to be named later, of course. Were sent to the White Sox.
To be named later are absolutely nasty. They are fire. Top prospects.
I would hope so. Later.
The one coming back is Colson Montgomery. So
I mean, I wishful thinking maybe, but yeah, all of that for Gage Zeal and one player to be named later. So that's the full deal. Seemed like a salary dump, but I don't love that they moved off David Sandlin in a salary dump type of move. So where are you at with this?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to lose David Sandlin. Ultimately, he's a guy that I think was a reliever, but that's a valuable piece that could have been a factor in the bullpen picture this year. To ultimately save $8 million, $6 of which you would turn around and use on Isiah Kiner-Falefa is not ideal at all. When this trade first broke, I remember seeing him as TJ Stats on Twitter, who I recently found out steals a bunch of ideas from people, and then he'll credit them by going credit to blank for the inspiration. The inspiration. That's what they call it nowadays. But he picked Gage Zeal as his White Sox pitching prospect breakout for the year. He said White Sox acquired Gage Zeal from the Yankees at the trade deadline in exchange for Austin Slater after a strong showing in the New York system. In his first professional season, Zeal quickly showcased his advanced command, earning a promotion to Double-A, posting a 4.2% walk rate and an impressive 67.7 strike percentage, both indicators of a polished strike thrower. Jeez, I can't read. Zeal leans more on contact management than swing and miss stuff, relying on his cut ride fastballs, two quality breaking balls to generate weak contact. The lack of velocity limits his strikeout upside, but he projects well as a dependable back-end starter who can build upon an encouraging debut season. I saw Ian Cundall was a little bit lower, thinking that he's more of a bullpen profile. This doesn't really seem like the typical Craig Breslow acquisition. He doesn't throw hard. The extension isn't there. So I wouldn't be surprised if this isn't a guy that we just see immediately flipped. Here's what Cundall had to say. Vertical release, average extension, very good control, struggles to miss bats, relies primarily on sweeper and cutter. Breakers have a high spin rate, also throws a low 90s fastball, changeup, curveball, relief profile. So this was really just a straight salary dump, and it cost you David Sandlin. And then you turned around and spent $6 of it on Isiah Kiner-Falefa. So there's a lot to break down with this deal, whether you want to go the Devers trade angle or the Isiah Kiner-Falefa angle. I'm good to go in either direction, but you steer the ship here on where we go first.
All right. I mean, there are many things that come to mind. I think the thing that pisses me off more is that you're dumping Jordan Hicks' salary, and then it's like, okay, Suarez signed back with the Reds. It really doesn't seem like there's that many other options available. And then you turn around and spend $6 million on IKF, who is certainly a baseball player, maybe one of the worst baseball players of all time. And
he's one of them. He's one of the baseball players of all time.
Certainly played in the World Series last year. Wasn't he the one who got thrown out at home by it was super close. But that's what he'll be remembered for in Toronto. Before that, he was with, I think, the Pirates, the Yankees, the Rangers. He hasn't been good with any of these teams. And you have IKF at home. You have super utility guys, Nick Sogard, Nate Eaton, even though I don't like Nate Eaton either, but even Romy Gonzalez, who can play in multiple spots. What do you need this guy for? And it's just to make the move and be like, okay, we're cutting some salary here. That was the dead weight combine him with Masataka Yoshida, maybe Patrick Sandoval too, that they could move off of to cut some costs. But then you turn around and literally the next day you spend some of that money on IKF, who gives you nothing. Like, it's so annoying.
And they supposedly the story was, oh, if we get above the second luxury tax threshold of 268, I think it is, or 269, whatever. Yeah, 260, whatever. The second threshold, that's where they'll start to incur significant financial losses, according to that report earlier in the offseason from Sean McAdam, which again is something that we've already touched on. Like you said, sure it is. So you dump Jordan Hicks and it's like, okay, that was just to get there. To then spin it around and then spend 6 of it on Isiah Kiner-Falefa is ridiculous, because now it puts you at $2.8 million below the second threshold. That's supposedly your self-imposed limit. So where are you going to upgrade the rest of this team for $2.8 million? And that's not even including the wiggle room that you need to give yourself for the deadline. It brings me back to something that we were talking about before we hit the record button. Like, this is the team. Like, this is, everyone said, Craig, we need an infielder. And he said, here, damn. Like, that's what it was. Like, we need an infielder. Here you go. Well, you idiots, shut up about it now. And it's like, no, because this guy sucks. Like, this guy, I was running the Twitch for Arcand and Andy Hart yesterday when this news broke, and Arcand pitched it as a future random baseball player of the day on Jones and Keefe, and Hart said a current random baseball player of the day. And it doesn't make any sense. And everyone says, oh, well, the defense is like, he's a former Gold Glove winner. The defense ticked down last year. He's never really been a fantastic defensive shortstop to begin with. So I just don't know. Like, I don't get it. Like, this is a signing that gives you nothing as far as I'm concerned. Like, he's a well below league average bat. 267 OBP last year, an OPS of 631. When you look at the sliders, he doesn't hit the ball hard, he doesn't barrel it up, and the X slugging is first percentile, the bat speed is slow, he chases too much. The only statistics that even look somewhat good are he doesn't swing and miss a lot, and he doesn't strike out a lot, but he also doesn't walk a lot. It was a 43rd percentile range last year, a 22nd percentile arm strength, so he's not going to play third. So where is Marcelo Meyer going to play? What does the platoon look like? This signing does not next to nothing for me. It makes me angry that this is what they did. It's so stupid and pointless. And then when you factor in that it's going to cost you $6 million on top of it all, it makes no sense. It literally just feels like Breslow heard everyone saying, we need an infielder. And like I said, he just said, here, damn.
I would argue that this signing actually creates more problems for the Red Sox. Like, yes, you needed an infielder, but you needed a good infielder. You didn't need another IKF. We have Nick Sogard. I already said it. We have Nate Eaton. You have Romy Gonzalez, Marcelo Meyer, all these guys who can play multiple infield positions. And then you go out and sign another one who's worse than I think all of those at least. And not to mention Christian Campbell, they still really don't know what they're doing with him. I've seen that he's been playing more second base now after they were like, yeah, he's actually an outfielder. So I don't think they know what they're doing with him either. But if anything, this just creates more of a block for these young guys who I would rather see. Like, I know what IKF is at this point. I'd rather see the potential upside in some of these younger guys. And now he's just standing in the way of that for hopefully just a year, maybe less than that. I mean, it is $6 million if you want to dump him later down the line, but then why sign him in the first place? Like, it just makes absolutely no sense.
Break. That's my take. He's going to be DFA'd
I don't hate
before
that.
The All-Star break. Just you could have stopped yourself at, when you said we're talking about Campbell, they don't know what they're doing with him. You could have stopped yourself at, they don't know what they're doing. Because they don't. Like, that's what it comes down to. I forget exactly what the tweet I quote tweeted. Oh, it was June Lee saying he doesn't really understand what the Red Sox are doing, like, and what their plan is. And I quote tweeted it with the Trump video of him going, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, that's the long and the short of it. They don't know what they're doing. Craig Breslow has a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to build a championship caliber roster, because clearly that's what he's trying to do. He keeps saying it every time you put a phone in front of, or a microphone in front of his mouth. He says we're trying to build a championship caliber roster, and then he takes his foot and then he places it directly inside his mouth. So it just doesn't make any type of sense. Like, so, like you said, you have Nick Sogard, you have David Hamilton, you have Romy Gonzalez, you have Nate Eaton, you have all these, you have super utility guys at home. And guess what? None of those guys cost you $6 million. And I saw people on Twitter being like, let's pump the brakes on these $6 million talks. Like, this is what $6 million gets you in Major League Baseball nowadays. And it was a list of all the guys who would sign for around that. And it's like, Andrew Chafin, Pierce Johnson. Got, like, first of all, I'd rather have both of those guys in the bullpen, even though they suck, over Isiah Kiner-Falefa. It's not about the $6 million. They have a self-imposed salary cap of that second threshold. You trade Jordan Hicks, who was a part of the Devers deal, and I don't want to hear, oh, well, that was only because they were taking on the Devers money. I'm sure that was part of it. We know that Craig Breslow loved Jordan Hicks. We know that the pitching lab loved Jordan Hicks because they kept trying to acquire him. So don't tell me it was simply about the salary offset. And even then, Jordan Hicks, at least there's something to dream on. And I saw the White Sox fans doing the same calculus that Red Sox fans were doing at the Devers deal. Like, oh, well, he used to throw 104 mile an hour sinker. If they can figure that out again, like they'll be in business with Jordan Hicks. He won't, but at least he has that ceiling. What is Isiah Kiner-Falefa's ceiling here for only $2 million less than what you're sending them? His best season of his career was by WAR. It was 2024, a 3.6 WAR. He hit 269 with a 683 OPS and a 92 OPS plus. That is his offensive ceiling, Isiah Kiner-Falefa, a 92 OPS plus. If you want to go back to 2020, the fake season, he had a 93 OPS plus, hitting 280 with a 699 OPS. He has not once in his career had an OPS above 700. I just don't see where this makes any type of sense other than the fact that you heard people bitching that you need an infielder and you said, fine, like, here's an infielder. And it just pissed everyone off more. Like you said, I would have rather kept Jordan Hicks, David Sandlin, and not had Isiah Kiner-Falefa. No disrespect to Gage Zeal. He doesn't really fit the profile. Trading a relief prospect and in a salary dump, a relief prospect that's knocking down the doorstep of the big leagues for a relief prospect that's 2 years away in a salary dump just doesn't do anything for me, especially when the guy you traded throws 100 and the other guy throws a low 90s fastball. It's like, the whole week of moves made no sense, and it only makes me question whether or not this is going in the right direction, even more than I already was, because, like I said, I think Craig Breslow should have been fired the day that Alex Bregman signed with the Cubs. So that's where I stand on him. I don't know.
The problem is, I don't want to take away from what Breslow has done in the rotation, because anyone can say that this rotation is way better than it was last year, but the problem is, it seems like Breslow is only capable of committing long-term to pitching. He has not committed long-term to any impact bat throughout his time with the Red Sox. In fact, he has not only let Alex Bregman walk, he traded his best player, who was around for the next, 9 years? So he had the impact bat, and he was like, I don't think we need this guy around. I think we can replace him. I think we can recreate Rafael Devers in the aggregate. It's not happening. It's never going to happen. You gave up on him way too soon, and now you're left with a shell of a lineup. Without Alex Bregman, without Rafael Devers, you have Roman Anthony and some other young guys who, if everything goes according to plan, can pull their weight. But you can't rely on all of these prospects to figure it out this fast, given how young they are, and given now that this is all on their shoulders. It's not just Roman Anthony.
Also, the injury concerns.
Right.
Like, Marcelo Meyer hasn't played a full professional season yet. You just got your first full healthy season from Trevor Story in the entire contract. He needs to stay healthy the entire year. Abreu has yet to prove that he can stay healthy for a full 162. He falls downstairs and misses 2 weeks.
He does. He does.
I don't understand. Like, and I see people on Twitter pushing back against the argument that they replaced Rafael Devers with Isiah Kiner-Falefa. Explain to me how they didn't do exactly that. Like, it's somehow, some way. It was in December that I said the Rafael Devers trade was the worst in franchise history. And somehow, some way, Craig Breslow has said, hold my beer, and has only made it worse.
Yeah, we can unpack that now.
Yeah, we don't need to relitigate the entire thing, but you trade Devers in what was effectively a salary dump for a pitcher that you've now buried to at least SP 9 or 10 on your depth chart in Kyle Harrison, a first-round pick from last year, James Tibbs, that you would then flip for Dustin May, who was so bad that you IL'd him and then told him to get lost, and now he's a St. Louis Cardinal. You trade Jordan Hicks in a salary dump along with another prospect, another top 10 organizational prospect in Sandlin. So now you've turned Rafael Devers and David Sandlin into 2 months of Dustin May, Jose Bayo, your SP10, and someone named Gage Zeal.
Oh my God. Like, when you lay it all out like that, it's just embarrassing how quickly we got to this point. Because you came into...
At least Alex Verdugo was a serviceable player for a couple years. At least Connor Wong's
still
fine backup. Yeah. Like that's not to say that the Mookie deal wasn't a catastrophe as well, but at least they attached David Price to Mookie to hamper the return. And like when you look at some of the other people, like, and obviously this doesn't make it better because in the lazy argument whenever I try to explain away the Mookie deal, or like I'm over the Mookie trade. Like that's just a fact of the matter. I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. I'm over it. Oh, well, they could have just paid him. Duh. Oh, obviously, they could have just paid him. They should have just paid him. They were not going to do that. Like, they made that abundantly clear leading up to it that they weren't going to do that. They already paid Devers and then traded him for nothing. So it makes it so much worse that that's the case. You literally went from the offseason. Carabas tweeted the thing before the list before the signing of IKF, but it was Kyle Schwarber with a line through it, Pete Alonso with a line through it, Alex Bregman with a line through it, Alex Bregman or Bo Bichette, Alex Bregman and Bo Bichette, and now Eugenio Suarez, all with lines through it, and you land on Isiah Kiner-Falefa. And you have idiots like Jim Bowden saying that this was a B+ offseason for the Red Sox. A B+? I'll have what he's having.
Yeah, it's so tough because, like I said, I think the rotation took big steps forward, but to go from really World Series aspirations and World Series expectations, at least making it there at the start of 2025, to go from trading your best player, having Alex Bregman really be the spark for that whole scenario, that whole disaster, and then not bringing him back. Yeah, exactly. And now you have neither of them, and your lineup is just so depleted. You still have the outfield logjam that they're definitely not going to address now, because how can they? How can they? And you still have Masataka Yoshida clogging up the DH hole. So what are you doing? I don't know a way out of this right now. And this is just user error. You could have avoided all of this, and you created this entire problem yourselves. And there's no way out of it now. Now you're sniffing that luxury tax that you clearly don't want to go over. You've made that very clear. And I think we're really going into next season. This is the team.
Yeah, 100%. And there's merits to saying like, oh, run prevention and good defense is the way to go. They haven't markedly improved their defense.
No.
Like pretty much at all.
IKF doesn't help with that either.
No. And let me just put it this way. You're going with run prevention and defense when you have the second most hitter-friendly ballpark in baseball per park factor.
Yep, makes sense.
Good idea, Craig. Really awesome. It's Coors Field and then it's Fenway Park. By park factor, the 2 most hitter-friendly parks in baseball. And you're going run prevention with a bad defense.
Yeah.
It's hard to have any even semblance of confidence in where this is going. It's hard to have any semblance of confidence in Breslow at the helm, and it's hard to have any type of confidence in this lineup heading into the season, because unless you get a MVP season out of Roman Anthony at 22 years old, your offense is going to struggle to score runs, which brings you back to the exact same problem that you had in August and September and into the playoffs. And I saw really smart people on Twitter saying, well, the problem was that Connolly Early had to start game 3 of the wild card after 20-something innings in Major League Baseball in his entire career. Prime Randy Johnson could have been on the mound wearing a Red Sox uniform in game 3 of the wild card game, and it would not have mattered. You would have lost because you couldn't score any runs. How many Bruins teams do we have to watch score 1 or 2 goals a game and lose games because they can't consistently find ways to put the puck in the back of the net before we realize that you have to score to win?
We'll get to them later.
What are we, I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, I understand the logic. I think it's wrong, and I think it's stupid because, like I said, what does your infield look like right now? What does your lineup look like right now? You have Contreras at first. You have some combination of Romy, David Hamilton, IKF at second, Story at short, some combination of Meyer, Romy, IKF, Hamilton at third, which God help me if I see David Hamilton take a single ground ball at third base. He can barely make the throw to first from second, let alone fucking third.
I can't believe he's still on the team.
You have your rotating outfield.
Yep.
Of who knows how they're going to handle that with Yoshida. You have 4 outfielders for 3 spots and a guy who can't play the outfield's clogging up your DH spot, so you effectively have 5 guys for 4 spots, one of whom has to be in the lineup every day. You could argue that Duran has to be in the lineup every day now, too, for what his bat brings. So you have 3 guys between Rafaela, Abreu, and Yoshida to rotate through the last outfield spot in DH, and you can argue that Rafaela, if you're going run prevention and defense, he needs to be in there every day. So I just don't know. Really, Yoshida is the piece that doesn't fit right now. I think their lineup would still be bad. Let me preface this with that. Their lineup would still be bad, but if Yoshida wasn't here and it was Duran, DH, Roman left, Rafaela center, Abreu right, at least you can have some semblance of, okay, this is the run prevention defense. You have 2 Gold Glovers out there in right and center, and Roman's numbers in right were way better than I think most people expected them to be defensively when he first got called up. So that at least makes a little bit of sense. But then you talk about that pesky little score and runs problem, and it's hard to see how the lineup takes shape. I think it's going to be Roman leading off. From there, where do you go? Is it Story batting second? Then who's your 3-hole hitter? They have a bunch of 6 hitters. And they're gonna try and fill out a 9-person lineup with a bunch of 6-hole hitters. I just don't know. They have a leadoff guy in Roman, and then in a cleanup hitter in Wilson Contreras, and then a bunch of guys that would be really awesome in the 6th spot, and that's how they're gonna fill up. And then Rafaela, who's a 9-hitter.
IKF may have him beat there now.
Yeah, that's true. They're going to hit them 8-9. They're both going to pop out. They should hit Yoshida, IKF, and Rafaela 7-8-9. They'll all ground out to the second baseman.
In 3 pitches. I see this team losing a ton of 3-1 games, a lot of 4-2 games.
Yeah.
It's just runs are going to come at an absolute premium, and it doesn't matter if you can prevent runs on the pitching side of things. Then you're just the 2022 to 2024 Mariners, and that's what I said last episode before they signed IKF. Now it's even worse, and now I'm even more upset. So honestly, at this point, I think we could just fast forward to 2027. And I don't know if that's too negative.
And then we'll have to fast forward from 2027 to 2028 because of the lockout. So I'll see you guys in 2028.
Yeah, the main silver lining right now that makes this offseason way more palatable is that
the Patriots are in the Super Bowl?
The Patriots are in the Super Bowl, the Bruins aren't bad, and the Celtics, now come trade deadline season and hopefully getting Tatum back, maybe actually could contend. I just really don't want to think about the Red Sox right now. They have done nothing this offseason to make me excited about 2026 whatsoever. Pitchers and catchers are reporting in, less than a week now?
Yeah,
I think
it's
5 days. Something like that. Yeah.
That was the 15th, I think.
Yeah, it could be something like that. But regardless, like, I'm not looking forward to anything that's going to come out of spring training. You're going to put a microphone in front of a lot of these guys' faces, and they're going to be like,
no,
yeah.
It's Monday. Pitchers and catchers report Monday. Yeah,
Okay.
because TC tweeted, TC usually calls the bean pot.
Right.
And it was Judd for the games on Monday, and people were asking TC on Twitter, and he said the WBC meant an earlier report date for pitchers and catchers. So pitchers and catchers report the same day as the title game.
Okay.
Which is Monday.
So you're going to put a microphone in all these guys' faces, and they're going to be like, we're really feeling the loss of Alex Bregman. Like, we miss our what's the word?
Leader.
Yeah, our leader, but our
second best player.
Like, when you don't actually give the title to someone. Well, what is that word?
Pseudo? Like de facto?
Pseudo? I don't know. Like, whatever. Our team captain is now not here, and we replaced him with nobody. And here comes through the door IKF, their big offseason signing. Well, I guess Ranger Suarez, but on the offensive side, it really is IKF, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Who else did they add? Contreras,
but that's not a signing, yeah.
Right.
And then they'll do the Kennedy, and Breslow will do the whole bench scrum, and he'll do the same. Well, technically, we've added more money via trade than any team in Major League Baseball. Shut the fuck up, nerd. Give me your lunch money.
Like, I swear to God, they're going to try to spin this and be like, oh, we have a way better team this year because of our run prevention. And then you look over on the other side of the ball, and you got, like you said, 7, 8, 9, Yoshida, Rafaela, IKF, all grounding out to second base. So whatever
unless
inning
it's the
they're
ninth
going
inning once a month, and then Rafaela will do something.
Like, I like going to games and keeping score either with my dad or by myself, and I'll probably just do 4-3 for all those guys for every single AB before it happens. Like, it's going to be such a disaster.
At your ripe young age of 23 or whatever you are.
Yeah.
When you go to games and you're like, gotta score. I'm like, that might be, that is fucking crazy behavior.
Are you gonna make fun of me right now?
A little bit, yeah.
No,
I keep scoring up when I'm up in the booth with Junior, but going to games, just to keep myself occupied, keep myself busy.
I don't do it during those, actually.
I do it. Yeah, I do it up there. But going to games, like, you have to like get something to write on. Like, it's just like I just can't. Like, that is such an old head move. Like,
because
sitting there scoring games.
It's fun. Okay, if you ever go to a game and try it, there's a hack. If you go in Gate A, Fenway Park, you go to the season ticket holder booth, then you get the game notes and the scorecard right there for free, and there's pencils right there if you need them. Usually I bring a pen anyway, but it's fun. I don't know, keeps me engaged. It's and also now that we've been to all 30 ballparks, we have a scorecard from each one of the game that we went to. So I don't know, it's cool.
That's one thing. To have a scorecard from every game from each ballpark that you went to, but even then, like, I'm not sitting there scoring the game. Like,
oh, you're a hater.
There. Like,
no,
I'm just not an old head.
Yeah, well, you're older than me, so
which is exactly what I'm saying. The ripe young age of 23 or whatever you are, and
I've done it since probably like more than 10 years by now.
You can get in the same locker as Sam Kennedy. Give me your lunch money, nerd.
No,
there's no way. There's no way. Like, sit there, have a couple bevs, enjoy your time at the old ball yard. No, not scoring games. Like, big spot. They're bringing in a reliever with the bases loaded, and you got, in this lineup you don't have anybody worth a damn coming up, but they start flashing the lights. Mr. Brightside starts playing. You hear Chapel Roan, Pink Pony Club bumping through the speakers, lights flashing. You're like, oh, who is this coming in? I have to update my scorecard.
No, it's not like it takes that long. It's like a quick thing. I'm still hammered at these games, and it's a quick, okay, Yoshida popped out to the second baseman. Like, that's all. And then I write it in.
I don't know. It just...
Wow. This is... I mean, I think you're on the wrong side of history here.
Definitely not. There's you're the only person I know that goes to games and scores them.
Oh, you're missing out. It's a great time.
How many people do you know besides your dad that goes to games and scores them?
0. I know it was hard to find scorecards when...
And I'm on the wrong side of history. I'm
Yeah,
on the
you
wrong
are.
side of history, and you're the only one that you know that does that. You and your dad.
I think it's something that is easy to learn. It's
It's
fun.
not.
It keeps you
It's
engaged.
not about being easy to learn. It's not about it. Like I said, I do it when I'm working, but that's different than like going to the game for leisure.
It's not like
Like,
it's not like I'm missing anything from the game by doing it.
No, but you're missing living in the moment. Like
That's not true at all.
How's that different from like
You think
like
I'm
a TikTok?
It's absolutely not, because it's related to the game, and it's not like I have my eyes locked on this scorecard like throughout the game. It's just like I make a note of whatever happens. Really, a quick. I'll throw a quick K in there. I'll throw a 4-3, an F8.
It's an old head move. It's an old head
No.
move. That
No.
much I know.
You're hating. You're hating.
I mean, I'm definitely hating, but I think I'm on the right side of history on this one.
We'll go to a game this season, and I'll do it with you, and you'll see that it's fun and that it doesn't really take anything away from the actual game.
I'm not saying that. I don't think it takes anything away from the actual game. I think it takes away from the Fenway experience.
Yeah, because I care so much about the Fenway experience.
Yeah, but there is something to be said about eighth inning, the lights go down, Pink Pony Club flashing, big spot, like you're feeling good.
I'm still there.
You've had a couple bevs in you. Yeah, but you're not up there like you're like I said, like I'm standing up, couple bevs, couple Sam Summers deep, Pink Pony Club, and you're like, oh, who is this coming in? Number 70 something? This is who on the
No. I think you think this takes way more time than it actually does to write in Aroldis Chapman as the new pitcher. Like
No,
I'm still singing Mr. Brightside. I don't sing Sweet Caroline, and my dad doesn't like that. But
I don't sing Sweet Caroline either. That shit's
I don't
stupid.
think it takes away from any of my experience. In fact, I think it adds to it, because if it's a good win, then I take it home and I keep them. So
all right, well that's a vlog idea for this season. We're going to a game, and I'm going to document you scoring your game like an old head nerd.
Yeah, I'll bring my pen. I have let's see, which one could I bring here? I have my Lego lightsaber pen, so maybe I'll bring that. Yeah,
I'm not a nerd. Here's my Lego lightsaber pen.
I didn't say I wasn't a nerd. I just said that I don't think it's nearly as bad as you think.
I mean, maybe it's not. I guess we'll have to see. It feels like an old head move.
My dad's not going to be happy with you.
That's
that much
but
I can promise.
How old is he? He's more of an
52?
old head than you. Yeah, so he's a
52.
he's a little bit of an old head. No offense.
Yeah. Wait, 52? Yeah, he will be 53.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of an old head. That's scoring games being in your 50s. I feel like is fair play. You're in your 20s. You're a young buck in your 20s.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's funny because I'll take people to games who like aren't really big baseball fans.
That was going to be my next question. That was my next one. Okay, so like
and then it's a conversation point.
There are so many other conversation points other than
but for people who don't know what baseball is all about, like I can show them like, okay, the center. So
every position is position is accordance with a number, and then you like I don't know, like so like you and your boys go to a game, and it's like they're all like boozing and yapping, and you're just sitting there scoring the game.
No, I am also boozing while scoring the game.
No, I get that, but like you're also scoring the game.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's just like you're the only one there. Like you like, and like even like going with your girlfriend is one thing. Like she's prepared for you to be like we don't like when we go to games we don't talk during like play besides like little like tidbits here. Like we mostly just sit there in silence, which has been an adjustment for my girlfriend, and then like in some of my other friends' girlfriends, like you guys just don't talk during games. Like no, what is there to talk about? We're watching the game,
right?
But I don't know. Scoring takes it to a whole nother level. It feels like an old head move.
It is. I'm okay with that. I mean, I listen to old music typically.
I listen to old music too.
Games.
I'm not scoring games as a fan. I'm not scoring games as a fan.
No, well,
which I think is
that's
the key. I think that's the key difference for me that makes this so bizarre to me. That it's
funny that you do them while you're working and I don't.
yeah, that is bizarre. Yeah, I don't know why I just started I was mostly just sitting up there. Like, I don't even know why I started doing it. I just saw it sitting there. I was like, it feels like a waste to just have this in front of me and not do it. So I started doing it.
Like if
And
I'm
like
doing
my
home games, I think I have done it, but I'm not as focused on it.
Yeah, my like I mean I definitely don't do it the traditional way. Like I definitely like put my own spin on it because I just started doing it like randomly. But like
Oh,
I
so
don't
I
know, like
could teach you.
yeah, well, I know how to do it, and like so like in my like discussions with like Coop and like Monaco and even
Yeah.
Sean McDonough, they all have their own like unique ways that they score games. Like Monaco has the weirdest one I've heard so far. If it's like a like shallow pop up to like in like kind of like no man's land between
Hmm.
second, shortstop, and center, and the center fielder catches it, he still puts it as a P6.
I think I do that too.
Yeah, that's the weirdest one I've heard. But yeah, that now was talking scoring games.
I don't know how we got here. Do we have anything else on the Red Sox front of things? I know we kind of went rapid fire, but we're both pretty mad.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know. I don't know where the runs are going to come from. Like I said, like when you start to put together the lineup in your head, it's like, okay, this guy's a 6-hole hitter, this guy's a 7-hole hitter, this guy, like if you really want on a really good offense, Wilson Contreras isn't your cleanup hitter. He's like your 5 or your
No.
6. So
Yeah.
like I don't know how they're going to score runs. Like what does the lineup look like? We already saw Duran get moved off the leadoff spot, so I think a lot of people are just assuming it's going to be Roman, but it sounded like Cora was kind of up in the air where he was going to hit, whether it be 1, 2, or 3. So like, and then like you have your left right thing, which like I don't give a shit about, but it's clear that they do because they were very insistent on getting a more balanced lineup this offseason, which you could argue whether or not they did. I guess kind of they did. But like it's just like, okay, so do you go Roman, Story, Duran, Contreras, and then like that's where it get not that it isn't
Abreu.
already dicey there, yeah. Like it's a really bleak picture on offense for a team that plays half of their games in the second most hitter friendly park in the league.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like when you see the old Lakers lineups when it was like Timothy Mozgov, like
Yeah.
Sasha Vujacic, and all these guys who are like not even replacement level players. And I don't want to go that far. Like I think there's bright spots in this lineup, of course, but like as you get deeper down, like 5 through 9, I think might end up being more of a black hole than people are thinking.
Yeah, it's like the what year was it LeBron went to the first finals? 06? 07?
Something like that,
Like
yeah.
was it Junius Ilgauskas was the center?
Uh-huh.
Like was JB Bickerstaff on that team? I forget exactly what their lineup was, but
Who knows?
it was LeBron and the whatevers pretty much. Like,
Yep.
That's what this team's looking to be. They're looking to be Roman and the whatevers. Like
Yep.
that's how they're going to have to score runs. They're going to have to, and not to mention this, they tried to manufacture runs in the wild card and were unable to get bunts down. So like this is going to be a team where runs are going to be at a premium, where they're going to have to find ways to play small ball and manufacture runs, and they can't even do that effectively from what we've seen so far.
Doesn't help
so,
that they kept Kyle Hudson around and he doesn't know how to send a runner.
Yeah, so it's really bleak. They're gonna, I think I was saying this last night, I think they're gonna win like anywhere between 81 to 85 games, be somewhat in the mix for the wild card spot, and if they get in, it's going to be a repeat of last year where you find yourselves unable to score runs because you can't hit home runs, and that is unequivocally the most successful way to score in the playoffs is by hitting home runs, which is something that Craig Breslow highlighted in his end of season press conference and then said, fuck that, I don't give a shit about that. Like, it's something that he told us was a goal. It's something that he pointed out as unequivocally the way to win championships is to hit home runs in the playoffs. You didn't hit a single one in your wild card series that you lost because you couldn't score runs. And then you effectively replaced Rafael Devers, who since 2020 has been a tied for top 16 hitter in the sport for Isiah Kiner-Falefa.
Oh, it really makes me sick. And the problem is, the closer we get to pitchers and catchers reporting to spring training games getting underway, the less excited I am. Because I really just don't want to see this team.
I just don't give a shit. I want to watch Roman Anthony play baseball, and that's it. Everyone else can get fucked, pretty much.
Like,
except Meyer. I want to see those two. Everyone else can get fucked.
Like, I got checked out of the Red Sox last year, probably halfway through game 2 of the wild card round. This year, it might be opening day. Like if they come out and lose like a 3-1 game on opening day, and all of the problems we've been saying throughout this whole offseason rear their ugly heads that early, I'm kind of just out. Like, I'll watch, but
part of it that's so frustrating is that you have all this momentum and you have Cora saying that it feels like Fenway's back, and you have people who are on their feet for 3-2 counts, who are invested in the games. Like, it's the loudest it's been since the 21 playoffs. And you have all this positive momentum of the big three is finally here. We rebuilt for all these years, and now we have our exciting young core supplemented by a superstar power hitter that's going to be here for the next 10 years, who's going to have his number retired when it's all said and done. But what's that? We just added Alex Bregman. He's a proven winner. He knows what it takes to get the job done. To now we have an exciting young core of 2 players, maybe a third in Christian Campbell, but he doesn't have a position, and we still have an outfield logjam, and he's an outfielder, and nope, now he might be a second baseman again. So you're doing your best to fuck up the development of one of those exciting young players, and nobody else really to get excited about. Like, if you were to ask a casual baseball fan who Wilson Contreras is, and this isn't a shot at you because you're certainly not a casual by any stretch, but they would say, oh, like, he's been pretty washed since leaving the Cubs, right? Like, that's what your sentiment was on him, because he went to St. Louis, which I saw someone in our YouTube replies were like, oh, you people called St. Louis a mid-market. They're only one of the best baseball markets in the country. They're like 22nd in attendance.
They suck, dude.
Sounds like one of the best baseball markets. Dude, St. Louis is such a fucking joke of a city and a joke of a fan base. St. Louis is a fucking shithole. And this may be me having lived in Chicago for however many years and gotten the fuck St. Louis, but also fuck the Blues for 19. I went to St. Louis once for a Missouri Valley Conference Tournament championship game, and we could not get out of that shithole fast enough. We drove down the morning of, went right into the Enterprise Center, and then immediately left after the game. There is nothing to do there. It is a shithole city. We're one of the best baseball markets in the country. No, the fuck you're not. Like, just give me a break with the St. Louis bullshit.
Yeah,
St. Louis.
I'm kind of out on the arch. I did the whole thing when I went there, like going up, but that thing, it's like an elevator Ferris wheel combined. Like, you're sitting in this, like, almost looks like an escape pod out of a space shuttle. It was dicey there. Like, and even up there, it's like you kind of have to bend down to see anything. The windows are not that wide. It's just weird.
Yeah. St. Louis, hashtag I'm all set.
Nice zoo, though. And maybe that was Kansas City where the zoo was. I don't know. But we went to the zoo there, too. I enjoyed that. I will stop at pretty much every zoo or aquarium known to man.
Did you stop at the shed when you were in Chicago? You stop at the shed in Chicago?
Oh, buddy. Yes, absolutely. What an aquarium.
I have a not safe for air shed aquarium story from my college days that I'll tell you after we stop. After we stop, it was a brotherhood event for my frat at the aquarium.
I'm sure that went well.
It was a lot of fun. We all did a lot of substances and had a blast, except for one kid who took things a little too far, which I'll tell you about off air.
Something I'm leaning towards something went wrong. I don't know if there's a touch tank there or
no. You're on the right path. It didn't have to do with the touch tank though.
Oh God, that terrifies me. Well, I look forward to hearing that after we're done with this episode. Did we have any more Red Sox, or do we want to move on to a team that makes me more happy?
Well, I think Coley put it pretty nicely that, like, okay, like, the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and then we have the Olympics, and then we have the World Baseball Classic, and then the Bruins are, like, a fringe playoff team, and the Celtics are going to get Tatum back, so hopefully we see the Bruins play until, like, April, May-ish, then the Celtics hopefully play until June, and then just like that, you have the NFL draft, like, just like that, you're right around the corner away from Patriots training camp, and you don't have to think about the Red Sox anymore, and then there's going to be a lockout for a year, so like, it's something I said, like, 40 minutes ago, I'll see you in 2028.
Yeah. They can't hurt us now, but you know who couldn't possibly hurt us right now?
Well, they could,
the Boston Bruins.
And they do. But...
Well, we'll unpack it.
Lucic taunts the Montreal bench. Bergeron! Bergeron! Dead
It's time for David's Bruins Breakdown.
It certainly is. One more of these before the Olympic break. The Bruins played their last game before the break last night. Overall, I think since we last talked, it's been largely positive. These last two games, that being the Stadium Series game and then the game against the Florida Panthers last night, both left a sour taste in my mouth, and we'll get to those towards the end of things. But overall, at this point in the season, heading into the break, I'm very surprised at how competitive this Bruins team feels on a night-to-night basis. And there are stinkers in there for sure. Jeremy Swayman loves giving up like 6 goals at least once a month. And then the next game after, he'll dial it back. But overall, it's been a fun product, and that's more than I can say I was expecting from this team this year.
Definitely. I think when we first started David's Bruins breakdown, we were talking Gavin McKenna, who I do want to get to. We'll touch on that. He, in my eyes, he should be taken off the draft board of 31 of the 32 NHL teams, falling to wherever the Toronto Maple Leafs first round pick falls, as long as it's out of the top 5. So, but we'll get to that in a minute, because I've seen a lot of really stupid takes from some really stupid people on hockey Twitter regarding McKenna. But we started the season being like, this team sucks, or we're going to be on McKenna watch, and like you said, it's been an entertaining product, whether they're winning games or not. I think I kind of said it on the last episode. I still am in the buy/sell, which again is easier said than done, because you have pieces that you can definitely move pending free agents, Andrew Peeke, Victor Arvidsson, etc. But and I was even talking about guys like Mikey Eyssimont, if you don't think they're a part of it moving forward, which I still don't think he is, even though he's been pretty all right, actually.
He has.
For them, scored 2 last night, obviously. But like they have a lot of moving parts, and not all of these pieces can be part of the future moving forward. And personally, I still am not at the point where I think that they're a true cup contender, so they'd probably be wise to at least listen on some of those guys. But it's been exciting. It's been something to watch. It's been something where I leave it on the main TV if they're on and like playing a good game, even if there's something else like even if there's new Vanderpump Rules or a Below Deck or the Traders or any of the reality TV slop that I can't get enough of, they stay up there. So that's really all you could ask for on February 5th heading into the Olympics.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, for a first season where I've really gotten back into things, I mean, I didn't expect them to be a contender, so the least I could ask for is an entertaining game pretty much every time out, and that's been the case more often than not. We can start here. This is kind of a funny one to go from after hyping them up. If the penalties are back again, just shoot me now.
They are.
They are.
Back.
So, yeah, maybe just shoot me, but I still enjoy watching them. The next one, Alex Steeves, no doubt signed a 2-year, $1.6 million extension for a guy that really came into the season on no one's radar.
1.6 AAV.
AAV.
Yeah, so
total it would be 3.2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I still don't know puck that well. But regardless, I mean, a short-term deal, not that much money for a guy that you didn't really expect to give you anything. Good for him.
So here's where I stand on this. I don't love it.
No?
The Bruins have proven time and time again that they can pull guys like Alex Steeves off the scrap heap and turn them into serviceable bottom 6 grinders. Steeves has been great. That's all. He's from New Hampshire. That's all well and good. To spend $1.6 million a year on a guy like Alex Steeves, when you've proven that you have the recipe to find these guys and turn them into serviceable players, just doesn't seem like the best allocation of resources possible, especially when, like I said, you still struggle pretty mightily to score goals. So I just feel like that money in that roster spot and several of the roster spots could be going towards someone to score goals and not just another bottom 6 grinder.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. From the outside looking in, like, I think it's cool to be able to develop that talent and keep it around. But if you're asking me if Alex Steeves is like a long-term answer going forward, like, I'm not ready to say that by any means. So yeah,
No, I
maybe
mean,
that money
it's a
could have
fine
been used
deal. It's
elsewhere.
just like, yeah, it's a fine deal. It just feels like when you look at the, let me see if I can quickly pull up the roster here, but they don't have many spots
Right.
to fill in, like guys that can put the puck in the net. They have a serious high-end talent problem here. So guys that are under control for 2026 or 2026-27. Husnudinov, 1-year deal. You have Elias Lindholm for another 5, Pasta for another 5. You have Zaka, Middlestat, Janot, Minton, Geeky, Isamont, Corrali, Kastelik, Steves. You're going to bring in James Higgins. So your only UFA pending right now on offense is Victor Arvidsson as far as your regulars go. And the only players that you have that can score the puck are Pasternak and Geeky most of the time. He was cold for like a month and a half and has since started to pick things back up. So I just don't know, like the upgrades have to come from somewhere. And it doesn't seem like they're going to be trading Middlestat at the deadline. Doesn't seem like they're going to be trading Arvidsson. Janot is on what I think is an unmovable contract, but I also think he's provided some much needed thump and toughness to the team. So I think year one of that deal, even though I ripped it when it was signed, has been a pretty big success so far. So I just, like I said, they need some high-end talent to come in, and I just don't know where it's going to come in if you just keep re-signing all your mid players that you already have.
It's a fair point. One that I will look forward to following, because it does seem like, could they move off of one of these guys at the deadline to free up another spot towards the offseason to sign some high-end talent? Because it's weird to say that Pasternak has obviously the best player on this team, obviously the best facilitator, but really he elevates everyone else on his line. So he can't play on every line. So where is that scoring coming from, whether Pasternak is the one scoring or dishing the puck out to other guys? It just doesn't seem like any other line is nearly as productive because of that. And I don't think that's easy to fix, but how
and
do you
also
do that?
as you get into the playoffs, it becomes really easy to defend because you see 88 out on the ice and you just trot out your top unit. If you only have one line that can score, it's super easy to just be like, if you're playing the Lightning in the first round, it's like, okay, well, Victor Hedman's out there now.
Yep. And I mean, you've seen flashes from line 2 where it's mainly been Zaka, Middlestat, Arvidsson, some combination of those guys. But like, I've seen some flashes in the pans from Arvidsson. I have a take on him later. But yeah, he's on a 1-year deal. Is he coming back next year? I doubt it.
No.
So where are you going from there?
Well, then I was kind of hoping that there would be a move before the roster freeze before the Olympics. It was kind of a first trade deadline, if you will. Obviously, we saw Artemi Panarin, Taylor Hall his way to the LA Kings, which I have nothing but respect for guys that do that. Shout out former Boston Bruin Taylor Hall. Philip Deneau moved from the Kings to Montreal after requesting a trade. Like, so kind of, and it felt like there was a lot more smoke than there were actual deals. Like, there were rumors about Jason Robertson, who would get me all hot and heavy. Rob Thomas out in St. Louis. That's another name that would pique my interest. Before the Sabres turned into a wagon, Alex Tuck, who's a pending UFA, that's a guy that piqued my interest. I would probably have them in that order in terms of who I would want more: Robertson, Thomas, and then Tuck. But yeah, nothing really came of it. So we'll see what happens when they get to the deadline. I'm excited to watch the Olympics. I'll say that much.
Me too. And we'll do some Olympic breakdown for sure. It lines up that I'm going to Las Vegas tomorrow, and sick brag. Getting back on Tuesday, so that'll be before any of those Olympic games get underway, I believe. So I'll be able to lock in on those. Next one here. Can we introduce whoever is in charge of Team USA jerseys to the Red Sox and the Bruins? Because I've seen this, and I know that my phone listens to me, and it's probably like, this guy is the king of all jerseys, so he wants to see everything that we have to offer. But I have seen every single player on Team USA Hockey get a jersey, and I can't buy a Husnudinov jersey. I can't buy a Whitlock jersey. What are we doing? It's so easy. And by the way, this is a good time to insert this. I've seen now other people get on the Bring Back the Jersey Wall campaign, and no credit to us whatsoever. I mean, we were on this in December? Now people
way
are starting
earlier
to
than
get
that. It was mid-season.
Yeah.
It was during the season we were on the shit because we were giving out jerseys of the week to like Peyton Tolley and Connolly Early, and we were on this in like July.
I know, and now people are starting to back
it's
it.
because the war on fanatics. Real ones have hated fanatics for years.
Absolutely. I mean, anyone who gets sports memorabilia at even an average rate can understand the drop in quality, the drop in selection, and them raising prices as well. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I guess,
quick take, all the people shitting on DHgate jerseys and being like, oh, well, like, they look so fake. It's like, okay, well, I would rather spend $30 on a jersey that looks moderately fake than spend $300 on a jersey that is real, but has way worse quality than anything that you're going to get from DHgate. At least whatever you're getting from DHgate from those Chinese sweatshops is made with care. Fanatics just throws it together and doesn't give a shit and collects your money. And I saw another tweet like painting Michael Rubin as some great big success story. He was bailed out twice by his filthy rich father, so spare me on that.
Yeah, it's embarrassing to see the Fanatics try to pass off these Super Bowl jerseys, like going with alternates that neither team has ever worn. Wear. Like, why do we have black Patriots jerseys? Why do we have white Patriots jerseys?
The fashion ones, the fashion jerseys, the white ones are awful. They're so
both
bad. The lettering is red. Did you see the picture of the two in the Patriots team store? It was Travion Henderson and a May, and they both had the patches in completely different spots.
Yeah. And it's why is it so hard to get the actual jerseys in good quality? Like, it should not be
about mass production. They're trying to make as much as possible and make as much money as possible because there's no one else to check them.
But even still, like, what is the purpose of these jerseys that the team has never worn? Like, why would anyone want that? I don't get it at all.
Yeah, I don't either. And I actually saw someone that we both know wearing one of those jerseys recently, and I was staring at it for a while, being like, this was before this all blew up, and I was like, that isn't the white jersey. Like, it definitely isn't. It doesn't have the sleeves. Like, it doesn't. And I hate. Let me just preface this by saying I hate the new Patriots jerseys. I think they're awful.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
They took the color rushes design from like 2016, 2017 and made it the full-time jerseys. I think they're awful. I think the sleeves are bad. I think everything about them stinks. But especially when they go blue on blue. If they went blue on blue for the Super Bowl, I would have lost my mind. If you're going to wear the shitty blue jerseys, silver pants. That's what I'm at.
Absolutely.
But that's besides the point. Yeah, it's just the quality is awful. And like even in the Red Sox team store, you go in and you try to get a jersey and they don't have anybody pretty much. They have more Masataka Yoshida jerseys than they do Garrett Crochet. You still can't find a Roman Anthony City Connect jersey.
It's insane. Like, I just don't understand why we're so slow to lean into young players and try to sell their merch. Like, those would be flying off the shelves right now.
Because Fanatics.
Yep.
If it was up to the Red Sox, if it was up to Majestic, all that stuff would be on the shelves immediately. But it's not. It's up to Fanatics who mass-produced Masataka Yoshida jerseys, and now they can't get rid of them. So now they're clogging up the works at Fenway. And
even Casas jerseys?
Right. While we're on a jersey rant, I'm so sick and tired of seeing people bitch and moan about having white Red Sox jerseys with the names on the back when that's what they sell you in the team store. Like, that's not a real jersey because it has the name on the back, and the Red Sox don't wear names on the backs at home. Okay, well then take that up with the team store because that's what they're selling you. Like, try and find a jersey, like my Pedro jersey has 45 Martinez on the back, and it's a white one because guess where I got it? The team store, and that's all they fucking have. Like, so I don't want to hear it with the nonsense like, oh, that's not a real jersey and you're not a real fan. Like, I would love it if I could just get I guess Pedro doesn't really apply because his number's retired, but like my Rafael Devers Yellow City Connect that was just 11 on the back is now a Marcelo Meyer jersey. My yellow Xander Bogart City Connect has been the gift that keeps on giving. Oh my God, I just realized there's a chance Isiah Kiner-Falefa wears number 2.
I realized it at the same time as you did.
Oh no, what numbers has he worn in his career?
I think it's been like 11,
9,
9,
12, 7.
Okay, so I was just wrong.
7.
But Yoshida's wearing 7. 9 is
yeah.
obviously retired. 6 is retired.
12
What was the other one? 12 is taken. Wong. I think it's Connor Wong.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he might actually rock number 2.
Oh boy.
I'd have to put that one on the shelf for the year.
You might have to burn it.
Well, let's not go that far. It's only a 1-year deal.
Well, who knows?
They're going to DFA. I just said they were going to DFA him by the All-Star break. Who knows what folk hero they're going to bring in to wear number 2.
Someone will wear it. Yeah. Let's see. Did I have anything else on jerseys? Oh, I did have one more thing quickly. Mitchell and Ness is way better at making jerseys, and a lot of times those are even cheaper. You can find those like throwback jerseys for way cheaper than the Fanatics jerseys. It's insane.
Yeah. There's
That's all
next to no reason to give Fanatics your money.
No, don't do it. Let's see. This is from the Canadiens game. Cole Caulfield Hattie with 6 minutes left in the second. I once again don't like this team. But then wait, they won that game. I said, never mind, they're sick. Good win. That was a whirlwind of emotions. That was my sister was throwing a big birthday party that night, and the fellas and I were watching on my phone because it was a good game. And my sister kept coming in and being like, "Oh, like let's get up, let's dance." I'm like, "There's like 5 minutes left, and it's a 1-goal game. Like we need to watch the end of this." And then they won, and then we got drunk, and it was awesome.
Nice.
But what a win that was. That's now 2 weeks ago, I think.
Yeah, the 24th. I have the schedule in front of me.
Okay. Let's see. I think they played the Rangers the game after that.
Yep. OT loss. That was a bad loss.
This one. Jonathan Quick again. How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? He kind of got his lick back this time. But
yeah, he wasn't great, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, he got an assist on the game winner.
Yeah, let's see here. Elias Lindholm with 2 goals. Sometimes I forget he knows how to shoot. And then he promptly got hurt. So I said something with Lindholm's and getting hurt. It's
they got to get him in the Plymouth Rock commercial.
I know. Can we find a workaround there? Like just even if you put Elias Lindholm in a Hampus Lindholm jersey and put him in the Plymouth Rock commercials, I honestly I know what they look like, but I don't think the mass public would.
No, Hampus is taller.
Yeah, sure. But
yeah, I don't know if the public would. I wonder what's going to happen with Elias with the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't know how serious it's because they put him on injured reserve, I want to say. So I don't know how that impacts things.
Did they name a replacement for him already, maybe? I'll take a look.
That's a good
Unfortunately,
question.
I haven't been keeping up with Team Sweden's roster moves.
No, unfortunately, I've had to keep up with Team Finland because someone we'll get to later was on that team. Yeah, it was a late injury replacement.
Article. The duo won't play Wednesday against Florida.
Yep.
Which we know. He believes, Marco Sturm said after Tuesday's practice that he believes Zacha and Lindholm will be okay to play per our good pal, Scott.
Oh, that's great. Shout out, Scott.
It's up to the Olympic doctors rather than the Bruins doctors at this point.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on that. I mean, not that I'm rooting for either of those teams, but it'll be cool to see some Bruins representation there if they're able to make it out.
I don't really give a flying rat's ass who wins gold. I just want a lot of really good competitive hockey. I think Canada, with the small neutral zones and the smaller ice, I think Canada is just going to absolutely steamroll everybody because of how fast they are.
Probably, and yeah, I mean, as a casual hockey fan, I don't really. Obviously, I live in the U.S. and I'm gonna root for them, but it's not like I'm gonna be crying if they lose.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I feel. The only reason I was really angry about the Four Nations game is because I fucking hate Jordan Binnington, and our guy Sean McDonough kept saying oh, something about this building and Jordan Binnington. It's all right, dude, we get it. We get it, Sean. Yeah, we don't need that. But yeah, I'm excited for best on best Olympic hockey. Obviously it means something to those guys, but I don't know. It doesn't really winning and losing doesn't really do too much for me. I hope they win, but if not, I hope Pasta leads the tournament in goals.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's see, where did I?
And I hope everyone stays healthy. Most importantly.
Yeah, no, we don't need another Charlie McAvoy scare this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, keep the Minnesota Wild's doctors as far as possible away from Charlie McAvoy.
Yes. Next up here, boy, the Flyers stink, huh?
They started to turn it on after that.
Well, this is only based on my Bruins viewing. I can't say I'm watching any Flyers games. Tanner Jeannot scored a goal. What a world. 12th goal of the year for Kuznetsov. Thanks for coming out. No, I do not care that it was an empty net goal. And he's just such a stud. So,
yeah.
Not enough glazing on Kuznetsov this time around because he didn't really do a whole lot.
No, he's been quiet.
Yeah. Fraser Minton, rookie of the month. What a stud. Hashtag thank you, Brandon Carlo. Which also I wanted to say on the Jersey front. If I know I'm the leading candidate and maybe the only one pushing for Murat jerseys, but the least we could do is get some Minton jerseys in there. Like, that is a legit
I'm about ready to buy
guy.
a jersey. I love Fraser.
Yeah,
Minton.
I would buy a jersey too, and you can't find either of them.
No, disgusting.
Let's see. Okay, these
Here
next. There's a bunch from the Stadium Series game. So I can just go rapid fire here. First one, Pirates are sick. That's all. I just think they're dope. And that whole presentation, I said Stadium Series presentation was goated up until the point where there was like a pirate emceeing the event, and he was like trashing the Bruins. He's like, "Oh, the Lightning, we're gonna pillage them, make them walk the plank." I'm like, okay, you're awesome, but can we be a little bit nicer? Like, I don't care for the messaging. Like, that's all. I mean, don't be rude about it. Like, I thought you were cool, and then you went and did that. I don't remember exactly when this was, but all I remember is that I needed a jump scare warning for Cam Schlittler. Because he popped up on the screen.
In the first period. Yeah, he fucking douchebag was wearing a Bruins jersey.
Of course he was. Yeah, like, what a loser. Matt Poitras upping trade value at this point, probably. I think he scored a goal in the game. Jersey of the week, here we go. Morgan Geekie for learning how to score again. So congratulations to him. That's big. And like you said, I mean, really, it's him and Pasta who are the consistent goal scorers on this team. Past that, I don't really know what you have.
Well, just for reference, do you know who's third in goals for the Bruins?
I know Murat has 12. I bet either Zaka or Arvidsson.
Yep, it's Saka all the way down at 15. 32 for Geeky, 22 for Pasta, and Zaka all the way down at 15. And when you get into the points, it gets even uglier. It's Pasta with 71, Geeky with 54, and then McAvoy all the way down at 39.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is brutal. So a clear scoring need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Swayman got cooked in that goalie fight. That was, I think, more for show than anything.
I don't think it was as bad as people were painting it out to be. They both only, if you watch the replay, they both only landed like 2 or 3. Vasilevsky's were definitely had the heavier hands, Vasilevsky.
Yeah, and he also looked way taller.
Yeah, I don't think that Swayman really gave a shit about winning or losing a goalie fight. He just wanted to get in one, and he's been itching for it for years and finally got one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't gain anything from like I wasn't upset that he lost the fight. I think a goalie fight in general is electric.
Yeah, it was just cool.
Yeah, and then the finale, obviously they lost. Was it overtime? It was overtime. In this one. Oh no, it was a shootout.
Shootout. Yeah, shootout.
Yeah. Both of these last 2 games were a shootout loss. I just said, well, that was less fun than it should have been because ultimately they were up 4-1, 5-1 at some point. And so they gave up 4 goals for the Lightning to force overtime, and you'll take the 1 point. But even still, it's like it could have been so much more fun.
Should I bitch about the referees now or later?
I have like 4 or 5 more, so up to you.
I'll bitch about the referees now because I think it was awful in both, but
yeah. That's my last one on the Stadium Series, so
okay. So obviously the Lightning have 7 straight power plays. First, let me start with the goalie fight. I don't know if you saw the mic'd up video of Nikita Zadorov finding out that the goalies get to stay on the ice.
No.
So there's a mic'd up of Zadorov. He goes over to the ref and he's trying to sort out the penalties. And he goes, the goalies get to stay. He's like, I get into a fight and I get to go into the cold penalty box for 5 minutes. And the ref is just like, all right, let's move on. Like, let's keep it moving. Like, he just was not having it. Like, how about have a sense of humor, you fucking loser? Fucking that wasn't TJ Luxmore. TJ Luxmore was in the Panthers game. But the Lightning get 7 straight power plays. They get like 8 straight minutes of 5-on-3. And I'm not saying that the Bruins aren't an undisciplined team that have to clean up the penalties. But do you know who's second in the NHL in taking penalties?
No.
The Tampa Bay Lightning. And they don't get called for a single one. And clear as day, McAvoy is getting fucking abused in the defensive end. He gets cross-checked in front of the net. He got tripped twice in one sequence. Neither called. The slash on Pasternak, don't even get me started. I think most of the penalties that were called on the Bruins were penalties. It was mostly just the fact that the Lightning were getting away with murder that made it so frustrating. For Pasta to get called for that slash is among the worst calls I have ever seen in my life. Jeremy Swayman is already at the bench thinking that the penalty is called on the Lightning when the puck goes in the back of the net and all of a sudden it's the Lightning are on the power play. Makes absolutely no fucking sense. Those guys were absolutely lost the entire game, and it simply comes down to that a call came down that the precious Tampa Bay Lightning couldn't lose their beautiful little Stadium Series game because little Gary Bettman's biggest goal as commissioner was to expand the game south, and it didn't work with the Arizona Coyotes, and now they're in Utah, so now it has to work with the Lightning or the Panthers, which they both have multiple cups at this point, so I think it's safe to say it worked, except for the fact that they don't fucking draw. Nobody cares. Like, they're good, but nobody cares. So that's, like, to me, it just comes back to Gary Bettman is an absolute disgrace of a commissioner, and I'll let you get to your Panthers ones because I have more on that. But if you follow me on Twitter for probably the last 10 years, my Twitter header has been a 2011 Bruins playoff promo. It used to be, you know how at the Olds Garden there, or not the Olds Garden, the old iteration of the Garden before it was like the hub on Causeway or whatever. They had the parking lot in front with the big fence, and they always had signs on the fence. The sign said the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Tampa Bay Lightning fans. They need to do another one of those with the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, Florida hockey fans, because those people do not exist.
Yep, it's a good take.
All right, get to your just one last Lightning note, because the Lightning are definitely my least favorite team in the NHL by far. Have I told my Lightning playoff game story on here?
Okay, you've definitely told me. I want to say it was on the podcast, but if you want,
I feel like it might have been. So I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Fuck Lightning, fuck Tampa. That city's a shithole. And anytime you have to restrict fans from the type of clothing that they can wear in your stadium is just a giant flashing sign that says "We don't draw." So get Florida hockey out of here.
Okay, last couple here from the Panthers game last night. I said Korpisalo stinks again. Poor Finland, because he has been named an injury replacement. I don't even know if he'll have ice time or not, but
I'd have to look at their roster.
For their sake, I hope he does not. Never wear the Stadium Series jerseys again. I believe this was at the second period intermission, so they were down 4-2. Obviously rallied back to force overtime and then ultimately the shootout. But yeah, I don't think these jerseys look good. And now you've lost two shootouts.
Yesterday was the worst jersey matchup of all time. The Panthers Winter Classic jersey stunk, and the Bruins Stadium Series jersey stunk, and they combined together for the ketchup and mustard bowl in the worst jersey matchup of all time. They both should be promptly lit on fire.
Great take. Pasternak excluded. Victor Arvidsson might have the deepest bag on the team. I don't know where you're at with this, but did you see his move last night? I don't think it scored a goal, but it was a very good chance.
I'd be hard pressed to agree with that one.
Yeah,
I don't know that he's got the deepest bag on the team. That's not Pasta.
Who does? Geeky?
No, because Geeky's more of like a shot guy than it is like
right. That's what I mean. Like in terms of your goal scorers, maybe Zaka, maybe Minton.
Yeah, I don't know who it would be, but I don't know that it's Arvidsson.
Might be.
Mikey Isamont kind of fucking dangled.
Yeah,
He
sure.
undressed Bobrovsky yesterday.
He did. I enjoyed that. Let's see. Two more here. What a stop by Kuznetsov. Guy is a winning player. Did you see this
That
in
was good.
overtime?
Yeah, in overtime. Yeah.
That was awesome. Where he uh, other players have done it before, but to see him do it and to see them like the national commentators be like, this guy has earned his playing time, has become a very solid player. It's just, I'm noticing. I've been on the ground floor of this, and now people are starting to catch up. Last one here. We'll take the points, but both the Lightning and Panthers losses are pretty bad. And that's mainly because, like we talked about last night, love Marco Sturm. I've given him his flowers many times in these segments before. But for some reason, all of his shootouts are just based on vibes and not using his best goal scorers.
He's the worst shootout coach of all time. Which, like,
it makes no sense.
I guess, like, if you want it to, if there's something that you want him to be bad at, it's picking the shootout. And post game, he was like, "Why no Pasternak?" He was like, "I haven't seen him score yet in the shootout, so like, I haven't seen any of our top guys score in the shootout." It's like, okay, I still would trot them out there before I started trotting out Charlie McAvoy and Andrew Peeke and Victor Arvidsson. Like, these guys have way deeper bags than especially any defenseman. But like, to not trot out Pasternak is like completely inexcusable.
Or Geeky. I don't think Geeky went in that one either.
In every single shootout. They both need to go in every single one. I don't care if you haven't seen them score. I don't care that Andrew Peeke has a shootout move that he uses in practice all the time that always scores, but he didn't use it in this one. Okay, well then there's something wrong with that. Like, yeah, he's the worst shootout coach of all time.
Yeah, I think that's all I have. If you had any more thoughts.
Yeah, the broadcast yesterday was an absolute abomination. For McAvoy to clear as day get elbowed in the face, where the guy leaves his feet to make contact with him in the head, in the jaw that he just broke, and these guys be like, well, he was off balance and he was leaning into it. Like, he's just as much as fault as fucking Valley Manis or whoever it is. Some guy, some slapdick I've never even fucking heard of. And these idiots, Brian Boucher and the TNT desk of morons, wants to go, oh, well, that's partially McAvoy's fault. And then for the Panthers to wind up on the power play as a result is the biggest joke on earth. Like, if you need any more clear-cut evidence to see that these teams get preferential treatment from the league, look no further than that right there, where your number one defenseman a week before the Olympics, the number one defenseman on Team USA a week before the Olympics, takes an elbow to the face an elbow to a broken jaw from some slapdick that no one has ever heard of, and you wind up on the fucking kill because your head coach was being a big meanie to the referee. And those of you that are familiar with referees, TJ Luxmore is no stranger to fucking the Bruins, but this was a new low for him and a new low for the league. They get away with fucking murder if you're wearing a Florida Panthers jersey. So it's no surprise that the team that continues to get away with headhunting people with elbows, it continues to do it because there are no repercussions, and there are going to continue to be no repercussions because little Gary Bettman, like I said, that's his number one goal. He wants to grow the league south. He wants that to be his legacy. Nobody gives a fuck about the teams, but they can do whatever they want. They can get away with fucking murder for it. And I'm back on my fuck Brad Marchand kick. Like, this is between skipping the Chara stuff to go to the White House and kiss Trump's ass while you're about to go to represent Canada in the Olympics, and you're sitting there yucking it up with the guy threatening that country's sovereignty, and while supposedly one of your best friends in the league is getting their number retired. Fuck off, dude. And then on top of the fact, last year he essentially Taylor Halls his way to the Panthers. Like, genuinely go fuck yourself, Brad Marchand. Like, I used to think that old heads were stupid for being mad at Ray Bork for wanting to get traded to Colorado to win a cup, but now I fucking hate Brad Marchand. So
it's a good take. I think it's a good way to end things here. Did you have anything else on the Red Sox? Final thoughts or anything?
The Gavin McKenna thing.
Oh yeah.
The dumbest people on earth are like, this is a symbolic of toxic hockey culture. Like, this is why he thinks he can get away with things. Like, he has anger management issues. He has this, he has that. If any single person in, like, to me, like, this is like, not to steal a line from the MAGA chuds because those people are fucking losers too, but this kid that got his fucking clock cleaned by Gavin McKenna, showed up to that bar, saw him and his mother, and immediately was looking to create a problem and create trouble. So he walks into this bar, he starts screaming at McKenna's mother, calling her a whore, and gets exactly what he asked for. That seems like a textbook example of fuck around and find out. That's what happens. That kid went there looking for trouble, got exactly what he was looking for, and then ran to the police, which is the softest move of all time. So I don't know how anybody else sees it other than that. Like, oh, it's toxic masculinity and it's toxic hockey culture. Like you people need to get a fucking grip on things, because if that's how you're reading it, I don't know what to tell you. Like you're truly too woke at that point. Like that's if wokeness has gone too far, and I consider myself to be fairly left, a big old lefty, if you haven't gotten that that sense from listening to the podcast. If that's where we're at, where breaking some kid's jaw for calling your mother a whore is a bridge too far, then I don't know what to tell you. I hope it does affect his draft stock to fall to wherever the Leafs first round pick falls, though.
I'm with you there. Like, the second I saw this story, once I got the full details of things and realized that it was just a guy chirping his mom more like at an uncalled for level, like, I see nothing wrong with that, really.
The team's in a private room with their families, and this kid is tracking them down in a private room at a bar to chirp him. Like, the kid was looking for it and then immediately got what he was asking for and then ran to the police. He's a fucking pussy.
And we've seen, like, actual bad human beings get way more of a pass than I mean, I don't think this will affect anything. If anything, maybe he falls a little bit. But even still, like, these teams will do their research. They'll do their character evaluations. I don't think it's really going to affect him at all.
This is a league that has Carter Hart playing goalie for the Vegas Golden Knights after sexually assaulting someone. This is a league where, are you familiar with the story of Logan Mailloux?
No.
Or however you say it. Essentially, he was in the Swedish Hockey League, I think it was, and he took him and his teammates had an unsolicited video of a young lady committing a sexual act on one of them, and circulated it amongst themselves, and then proceeded to bully this young lady, and It got out. He was supposed to be a first round pick. It got out. It was a whole to-do. And he had to release a letter being like, please do not draft me. Like, I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to work on. The Canadians took him with their first round pick.
Jesus. Of course. Yeah. I mean, we've seen this time and time again. I mean, especially in the NFL.
There are far more despicable people in the NHL than Gavin McKenna, who beat the shit out of some kid for calling his mom a whore, which anyone in their right mind would do.
Yeah. So I mean, here's hoping he falls to the Bruins, wherever that may be. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Super Bowl thought quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think the Patriots are going to win. I believe that. For 2 weeks, it's pretty much since the Patriots beat the Broncos. It was before even the NFC game kicked off. It was the Patriots shouldn't even bother wasting the fuel to fly from Boston to Santa Clara because they're going to get destroyed. They shouldn't even bother lacing them up. They're fool's gold. They haven't played anybody. They're going to have played 4 top 10 defenses in the NFL in this playoff run, but that doesn't matter to anybody because the quarterbacks that they played were bad. Justin Herbert is a good player. I firmly believe that. He was a good player, and their defense was so good that they didn't know what coverages they were in. They didn't know what they were running on defense. CJ Stroud sucks. Jarrett Stidham sucks. It is what it is there. But the fact that they've had 2 weeks of listening, we know that they hear this. We've heard players on the defense say, yeah, they're spending the week talking about the Texans defense, the Broncos defense. I looked at the schedule. This Patriots defense is going to be the second best defense that the Seahawks have seen all year, besides the Texans in like week 7. No one's talking about that. No one's talking about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold seeing the second best defense he's seen all year when they're peaking at the perfect time.
Yep.
It's
not a good point.
Not a peep. They shouldn't even bother lacing him up. And we know that they hear this. We know that Mike Vrabel is the motivator of all motivators. And for 2 weeks, they've been hearing nothing other than don't even bother showing up because you're going to lose by so much that it's not even going to be worth it. I find it hard to believe that Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, no matter how good the defense is. And I don't want to hear Trent Dilfer. I don't want to hear Joe Flacco. I don't want to hear Nick Foles. Sam Darnold, in my book, is worse than all of those guys. So for the last 2 weeks, this Patriots defense has been hearing all about how great the Seahawks defense is, all about how they don't have a chance, and they're going to come out and they're going to punch them in the mouths and win the Super Bowl on Sunday.
I love it. Regardless, win or loss, I will be drinking and drinking heavy. So we'll leave things there. Hope everyone enjoys their Super Bowl weekend. Hopefully everyone enjoys their last bit of sanity before Red Sox season gets underway here. But either way, we will be back, whether that be to break down Olympic hockey or any potential moves the Red Sox may be making.
Zoos. Yeah, we've been on a roll with we've been hitting on all the scorecards. In the last episode, we talked international politics.
Who knows what could be up next for us. But either way, we will be here, and we appreciate you guys listening. So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Hip hip, Drake May.